term Latin covers many different styles, including Argentinian tango, Cuban salsa, and Brazilian samba. When used as a term on its own, as you will often see on musical charts, something close to bossa nova or Latin jazz is usually intended. There are many ways to play a bossa nova rhythm pattern on the guitar. Usually the bass will be played by the thumb, while the fingers play chords mainly on beat 2 and the offbeats between 2 and 3. Here is the bass line played with the thumb using a Adding the chords with the fingers sounds like this. Instead of putting the pick down to play fingerstyle, many players use the pick as normal between the thumb and first finger and use the remaining 3 fingers to play the chords. This is known as hybrid picking technique. When playing with a band that includes bass and drums, it's often best to omit the bass line and just play the chords. This still works best using fingerstyle or hybrid technique. On an electric guitar, Latin rhythm ideas often sound best using a clean, jazzy sound. Usually this means using the neck pickup for this warm tone. Harmonically, bossa nova is essentially a jazz style, meaning that it's harmonically complex. So there will often be chromatic chords, which means that they contain notes not belonging to the key. There can also be modulations, meaning that the key will change temporarily. When improvising over this kind of sequence, you have to remain constantly aware of what the chords are doing and reflect this in your choice of notes. Usually this means you can't just use one scale over the entire sequence, as there will often be clashes. To improvise over a sequence containing chromatic chords and modulation, you can change the scale depending on the chord changes, or you can choose to focus on the chord tones of any chromatic chord. Our example sequence is in C minor overall, but while there are G and G7 chords containing B natural, which might imply C harmonic minor, there are also B flat 7 and E flat chords containing the note B flat, which can either be seen as belonging to C natural minor or as a modulation to E flat major, which is in fact the same set of notes. Finally, the turnaround contains a D7 chord. This contains 2 chromatic notes, A natural and F sharp. You don't have to use these notes, but be aware that the neighbouring notes in the key will usually sound dissonant, so avoid F natural and A flat. Here are the scales we've talked about. C harmonic minor, E flat major, D dominant 7th arpeggio. Here's one possible improvisation over our example chord sequence, starting by playing rhythm and developing into a solo.